Bright Cutie. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. So in this class we are going to begin with the third poem of class 9th alternative English, which is Mother's Tears. Now as the name suggests, the poem is about a mother, and the moment we talk about tears, that automatically shows the pain behind something. We all understand that the pain of a mother is, cannot be beaten by anything else. So in this poem that we are going to read, the main subject that this poem talks about is substance abuse. Now, what do we mean by substance abuse? Substance abuse means when somebody is addicted to alcohol as well as drugs. Okay. Now this is something which is very common these days among the youth. So substance abuse is a topic, it is a subject that a lot of people are facing these days. Similar was with this mother that we are going to talk about. This mother, like every other mother, showered her love, affection, care, and she gave everything possible to her son. She did not even, consider and take care of the fact that what she was doing was actually spoiling her son. She did not stop her son from doing anything wrong. She did not teach her son any moral values. And the end result of it was that the son was totally spoiled and was so much into substance abuse that he just could not return back. And this mother was left grieving, She just could not do anything else but to feel bad, to feel sorry for the way she has raised her son. So this is what we are going to read about in this poem. But before that, let us read something about our poet, Dr. Sedenguli Nagi. So this poem basically is a contemporary writing. Okay, the way it was written earlier, it is very modern in nature because this subject, as I told you, substance abuse, is a very current, topic. People nowadays have got themselves involved in such a thing. So this is a very modern writing. So contemporary writing from the northeast of India celebrates rich traditions and culture, retells folklore and myth, and seeks to present life in all its richness. So obviously, the contemporary writing from the North India that always talks about the rich traditions, the culture, it tells about the folklore, the myths, and everything is brought to the fore so that the people can enjoy that. At the same time, several writers from the region also turn to the dark side of the society. So there are other writers who have started writing about the darker side of the society, about the grey side of the society. In Nagaland, writers also seek to address the fears and the pain that haunt their people. So, the writers have started writing about the things that bother people, that trouble people, such as grief, such as hurt, violence, political problems, problem of being ethnicity, the mannerism, the social culture. So all these things are being raised as points by the writers in Nagaland. So Dr. Sedengili Nagi takes on a problem that comes to haunt, and that is of substance abuse, as I told you. Now, in Mother's Tears, he describes the anguish of a mother. Anguish means pain. So in this poem, the poet describes the pain of a mother who watches her son's world collapse. She could see her son getting ruined, in front of her eyes. The poem is in 6 stanzas of irregular rhyme. So there is no rhyming scheme that has been followed in the poem. So let us start reading. Streams of gratitude flowed for my son's birth. A dream of prosperity and love showered on him. At night I woke and quenched his thirst, all because my son should be happy. So the mother here writes that streams of gratitude flowed for my son's birth. She says that the time when my son was born, gratitude means to be thankful about something. So she says that when my son was born, I could not stop being thankful to God for this gift that was given to me. So she just could not thank God enough for the birth of her son. A dream of prosperity and love showered on him. Prosperity is the wish, the prayer, the wish that every mother makes to ensure that her son gets the best in life. Whatever things, children, whatever things the child wants, a mother always prays for the child to get it. So similar was this mother's dream as well. She wanted her son to have a prosperous life. She wanted her son to have a full, complete, enjoyable life. And therefore she showered all her love on him. Whatever love she could, she gave it all to her son. At night I woke and quenched his thirst. Quenched means satisfying. So at night, she says, when the child would wake up, the child was hungry or the child was thirsty, the mother says that I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would make sure that the child's thirst was satisfied, that the child was given something to drink. Why did she do that? Because she wanted her son to be happy. So, the mother over here is talking about just the way any other mother would behave. She was very happy and thankful to God when her son was born. She dreamt for him to have a prosperous life, to have a wonderful life, and she loved him with whatever she had. At night, whenever she felt the child had the need of, the child was hungry or the child was thirsty, she woke up and she satisfied the child's thirst. And the reason why she did that was because she wanted the best for the child. She wanted her son to be happy. Though I failed to offer him a silver spoon, endow him with a plate of gold and riches, I did with the least I possessed, egged out my love, affection and helping hand. Now this stanza tells us that the mother was not very rich. She did not have a lot of money that she could give to the son. That is why she is written that though I failed to offer him a silver spoon. Silver spoon is basically a phrase which indicates a lot of money. Okay, so the mother over here is saying that she could not offer her son a lot of money. She could not give her son money. Endow him with a plate of gold and riches. Endow, provide. Neither could she provide him with a plate of gold, that is all the riches in the world, or anything that was materialistic in nature. I hope we all understand materialistic. So, all the materialistic things that the people want to have in life, she could not provide that to her son. She just did not have the resources, she did not have the money to provide that. I did with the least I possessed. Possessed whatever things she had, whatever little things she had, she gave it all to her son. Egged out. she worked very, very hard, and the best thing that she gave to her son in abundance was her love, her affection, and helping hand. Helping hand, whenever her son needed her, she was always there for him. So what does the second stanza tell us? The second stanza tells us that the mother was very sad and disheartened that she was not rich, and therefore she could not give money and all the materialistic things to her son. But whatever little resources she had, she provided them. She worked very hard to fulfill all the desires of her son. And the things that she never failed to provide to her son in abundance were her love, her affection, and her help to him. Never had I refused a single coin, forbidden not a word for this lovely lad. Nay, not question his habits and lavish lifestyle, I pondered why his joys should be measured in ethics. The mother again is confessing, she is agreeing that she never refused him a single coin. She never refused to him even, whatever money she had, even if that was the last coin she had with herself. If her son wanted that, she gave it to her son. So she never said no to her son for anything. Forbidden not a word to this lovely lad. Lad means a young boy. Forbidden, she did never scold her son. So she gave her son whatever she had. She never scolded her son, who, according to her, was a lovely young boy. Nay, not question his habits and his lavish lifestyle. Nay, not means never. She never questioned, she never asked him about his habits and the lavish lifestyle that he was enjoying. Lavish is a word that is associated with rich. Okay. So lavish lifestyle means when you enjoy a lifestyle in which you have everything that you can ask for. Okay. So we have just read in the above stanza that the mother was not very rich. She was working very hard to give to her son whatever he needed. But the son did not value the hard work of the mother, and his habits were not good. Besides, the kind of lifestyle he enjoyed, that was so grand and lavish that the mother never asked him why he was spending so much money, and she never questioned any of that. I pondered why his joys should be measured in ethics. Pondered, thought. The mother says that the reason why I never questioned him or his habits or his lifestyle was because I would always think that why should I measure his joys with the ethics? Ethics, the social norms, the norms which are laid down by the society, the rules that are being laid by the society which each one of us should follow. So the mother always thought that my son, why should my son, go by what the society wants him to be? Why should my son listen to the society? So this is what the mother did wrong. So what did she do in this stanza? She tells us that she never refused him the money, even if that was the last coin that she had. She never scolded him for anything. She never asked him or questioned him about his habits, about his lavish lifestyle. And she also never told him to follow the norms of the society. Let us move ahead. Alas, life has been hard on him. His freedom drenched him in pools of drinks. Drugs messed up this handsome lad of mine. Buse and sweetheart crushed his tender life. So, now alas. So the first word of this stanza is an interjection. Alas is an interjection. And this interjection, presents or portrays your sadness, your disappointment about something. So the mother is now sad. Why? Because she has realized what her love and affection has led her son to. She can see in front of her own eyes where her son has been, what kind of a person her son has become. So she says that unfortunately, life has been hard on him. She can see in front of her eyes that her son is in a lot of difficulties. His freedom drenched him in pools of rains. Drenched means to get wet entirely. He was given freedom. And how did he use that freedom? By drinking. Drenched him in pools of drink is a reference to the fact that he became an alcoholic. The entire day, night, he was just surrounded by alcohol. So, he was given freedom and he misused his freedom by becoming an alcoholic. Drugs messed up this handsome lad of mine. Not only alcohol, but he also got into drugs. And by taking drugs, his life got messed up. His life got troublesome. There was nothing good left in his life. In addition to it, she says, buse and sweetheart. Now, buse is a French word which means the handsome boys. Okay. So, buse and sweetheart over here, the mother means to say that all the handsome male friends as well as the girlfriends that my son had, they crushed his life. They crushed his sweet, tender life. So in this stanza, she is pointing out the way her son has gone wrong. She says that life has been very difficult, has been very hard for my son. Since he got freedom, he misused his freedom and he got himself into alcohol and drugs, which totally messed his life. On top of it, all the male as well as the female friends that he made in his life, they also made his life miserable. They made him all the more attracted towards the alcohol and drugs. Though the world hates him, made mockery of him, my love did not waver, my hope did not stop. Is this a birth pang for a new son? I vainly cried. I shed tears if it could wash away his sins. The mother tells us that the same world which was very happy when this son was born, now they dislike her son because of all the bad habits that he's got himself involved into. So they hate her son. They made mockery of him, mockery to make fun of somebody. So they dislike the mother's son. They make fun of this young boy. But she says, my love did not waver. Waver? My love for my son did not fall off. Whatever love I had for my son earlier, I still have that much, love. Obviously, a mother's love, irrespective of whatever happens, can never reduce. It can never change. So she says that my love for my son has never changed, and my hopes for him to become a better man, to become a better human being, to get himself away from these bad habits has not stopped. Is this a birth pang for a new son? She says. Birth pang for a new son? What do we mean by that? Now, birth pang, what is it? We all understand that when, a mother gives birth to a child, that is a very painful, thing. So this lady, this mother that we are talking about, she obviously went through a lot of pain when her son was to be born. But that pain changed into happiness when she saw her son. But now she was going through the same pain again. Why? Because she wants a new son. What does a new son mean? She wants her son to have a rebirth. She wants her son to be reborn with all the good habits, leaving behind the bad and the substance abuse that he has got himself involved into. But I vainly cry. Vain? She knows that her tears are totally useless. They are of no use. No matter how much she cries, what has happened cannot change. I shed tears if it could wash away his sins. She says that I keep on crying, believing and hoping that maybe my tears will wash away his sins. Sins, whatever bad deeds my son has done. She is hopeful that maybe her tears are going to wash away her son's sins. So what does this stanza tell us about? The stanza tells us about the fact that the world, now the people, dislike the son. They make fun of him, but the mother's love did not change. It did not reduce. She still has hope for him to become a better person. She questions herself whether this is the same pain she felt at the time when her son was born. At that time, she was hopeful to get a son, a baby was born. Now, she hopes to get a son who, can leave behind the bad, habits he is into. But this is something which is useless. This is something that can never take place. So she keeps on crying, hoping that maybe her tears will wash away the bad deeds of her son. I knew not his freedom would bury my dreams. I regret for the life placed in my hands. Alas, loving is not giving all his demands. Loving is not what tumbles down his life. So in the last stanza, the mother actually realizes her mistake. She realizes where she went wrong. She says that I knew not when I was giving him all the love, all the freedom in the world. I did not know that if I'm going to give him so much freedom, a day will come when my son will not be able to fulfill any of my dreams. I regret, I feel sorry for the life placed in my hand. She says that this child was given to me believing that I am going to shape his future. I am going to bring about a better human being into the world. But I did not do any justice to that. In return, the son that I got and the son that I have made are two different beings, and she feels sorry for that. She says that I am feeling sorry that loving is not giving all his demands. She realizes finally that when you love somebody, you do not show your love by fulfilling the demands of the person. You have to learn to say no. Loving is not what tumbles down his life. She realized that love does not mean that you continue to love your child so much that a day will come when his life will collapse in front of you. So this is not what is expected out of a mother's love. So my dear students, this is what the poem was about, the mother's tear. Let us very quickly recap this poem. So in the first stanza, the mother tells us that when the son was born, she was very thankful to God. She dreamt, for her son to have a prosperous life. She gave him all the love that she could, At night, whenever the son needed anything, she would wake up, would satisfy the son with milk or water, whatever the son needed, and she would then make the baby sleep. Why? Because she wanted the child to be happy. She again confesses that she does not have a lot of money. Whatever money she had, she offered it whole to her son. She worked very hard to provide her son with the best things that she could. She never failed to give her love, affection, and she was always there by him. She never refused to give him even a single coin. She never scolded her son. She never questioned the habits and the lavish lifestyle that the son was getting into. And she never even told her son to abide by the norms of the society. But then, unfortunately, she realized, she could see the impact of her overprotective love on her son. She saw that life was very hard on him, that the freedom she gave to her son has actually made him an alcoholic. He's got himself into drugs, and she also says that the boys and the girls that her son was, in a company with, they have all spoiled him entirely. She again tells us that the time has come when nobody likes her son, everybody makes fun of him, but being a mother, her love for her son has not changed. Her hopes for her son's betterment are still intact. She asks herself if this is the same feeling, she had when she was giving birth to her son. Only at that time a baby was born, and this time she wants her son to be reborn with a better personality, leaving behind all the substance abuse he's got himself into. She continues to cry, hoping that her tears will wash away all the bad deeds of her son. She again says that I never knew that if I will give my son so much freedom, my son will never be able to fulfill my dreams. I feel sorry that this boy who was given to me as a child, for shaping a better future, I have actually spoiled his future by giving him all my love and affection. She further feels sorry, and she accepts that loving somebody does not mean fulfilling the demands of that person. Loving does not mean you give the other person everything and then you see the other person collapse in front of you. So my dear students, this was the poem written by Dr. Sedengeli Nagi. I'm going to pause here now. The back exercises of this poem I'm going to take up in my next lecture. So